This is a song I wrote. It's called The Neoprene Lover. It's like a story about right versus wrong sort of thing. But I recorded all of these are all original beats and everything, and I recorded it all on my loop pedal from this keyboard, and I'm going to play it to you as if it were a song you'd hear regularly. So there we go. Neoprene lover with your mask so tight, fueled by insecurity, creeping through the night, crawling through your shadows on your knees and out of sight. Your hand touches the windowsill as she turns out the light. It was just 9th grade when he saw her standing there by her locker with the soccer ball and bleached blonde hair. She had a pretty little figure, so he couldn't help but stare. Love at first sight, he had to have her, couldn't bear. Watching the way that she moved, it was with such grace. This was one gazelle he had to tackle, so he starts to chase. Neoprene boy though, he's always felt out of place. His mother died when he was 12 and diagnosed a head case. So he walks up to the girl with his chin held high, sweating bullets, teeth are grinding, feeling like he might cry. She turns to see him, a skeptic look comes to her eye. If looks could kill, his blood is spilled, and that's the place he died. He told her, you're the epitome of perfection, Aphrodite. The sound of me and you together sounds all too inviting. So please oblige me, tell me I could be the one for you. I promise to be honest and I promise to be true. She looked back at her friends and she started to laugh. She pushed him over, spit in his face, and stepped on his glasses. She said, you're a disgrace, you look and smell like you're trash. You could never have this, not if we were the last. Tears formed a puddle between his cheek and the floor. The girls all walked away, leaving him broken and sore. Other kids just looked as he lay there torn. This is when he started thinking and the thoughts they started pouring. Neoprene lover with your mask so tight, fueled by insecurity, creeping through the night, crawling through your shadows on your knees and out of sight. Your hand touches the windowsill as she turns out the light. A wooden table covered in papers from chicken scratch. Plans of someone's day that he knew to be their last. Between the lines, tears and ink mask the fine print. Smudges of remaining thoughts dribbled in black tint, bleeding through the pen onto the canvas that's the page. He scribbles down the play that he sees on his mind stage. Spaces out trauma, brings emotions never known to be. The neoprene mask shows his true being. Resentment fills his heart and the hate floods his soul. Never knowing that the world he living could be that cold. Empty of trust since a little boy at 7 years old. Being told that things were normal, most have never been told. Never knowing any consequence of action thought, doing what he only knew and doing what he'd been taught, touching what didn't belong to him and denying all truth, not by choice but by his nature. Subliminal damage as a youth, and as the years pass by and he grows to a man, he watches as the ones around him still fail to understand. He gets on his knees begging to a God he feels left, so on his knees he stalks the shadows with a shallow stifled breath. Neoprene lover with your mask so tight, fueled by insecurity, creeping through the night, crawling through your shadows on your knees and out of sight. Your hand touches the windowsill as she turns out the light. A gentle breeze hits her face as the windows open wide. See who spits on whose face, now the years have passed by. All this planning, plotting, watching her, and now it's time to die. As he lifts a knife above her eyes, open with a sigh. Soccer ball blondie from the school in front of the lockers, got the teacher's seed protruding from her belly deep inside of her. She knows it's over, scope of truth, the set of the situation. Then it clicks to the assailant, she's probably just like him. Alone in the night with a fatherless child, cause the mother's been raped when a gym teacher went wild. Neoprene mask drops to his knees and starts to sob. Tells her who he is, she just looks and she nods. She says, not if we we were the last. And she grabs the knife, stabs him twice in the chest, laughs and takes his life. She says, this is what happens when the naughty acts nice, and the nice are thinking only a fool would ever think twice about defending their security, protecting their son, even if it wasn't perfect where the baby's coming from. She dials 911 and the police arrive. When the cop comes out, he stands by the medic's side and says, this girl has one request when you bring the body out. Leave the mask on the victim. Well, what's that all about? He says she wants to remember him like the standing above her. So he didn't kill the boy, he killed the neoprene lover. Something like that.